Alright everyone, we're back with our second live video of the day, day 2 at the IBS in Vegas 2023. I'm going to hand you over to Brad now.
Hi guys, so I'm Brad, I'm a hair colorist. In the last 6 years I've worked freelance and I started working on women's wear, fashion and some fashion shows. So I'm an experienced wig colorist. Last August I decided to start doing hair units myself because I was coloring all of these fabulous wigs for people and I wanted to get into the action. So what I'm going to do is I am going to show you how this is basically my two favourite styles. So I normally wear a routine bleached out colour, and this time we've got silver. Like normally I might wear blue or pink or rainbow, and then this is another one of my favourites, which is more like a sun-kissed balayage kind of look. So a bit darker at the back and then a bit of a blonde front. Put a little bit of my signature rainbow in there as well. So I'm going to show you how to achieve it on these champion units in shade 22. So for the ease of the demo, I've just got 3 bowls. So I've got a dark base 5, I've got a medium base 7, and then I've got bleach. So what we're going to do is on this one, I'm going to show you what I do to achieve the routine blonde. And then on my next one, I'll show you the technique of how I kind of get this. And it's supposed to just be really simple, it's really quick. So it's going to take me about 20 minutes for each one. And then what I do is, because it takes longer to develop, that's why I've made some examples of what you can see here. So I'm going to crack on, and if there's any questions, the CTO is going to be able to answer them and direct them to him. Thank you. So I'm just going to start with the darkest one. So I'm just going to start with the darkest one, and I'm just going to go round and start with the routine. So just to, so these darker colours, they're actually demi-permanent. So I don't use any permanent colours because of the chemicals that are in there, the ammonia. So it's easier if you go with a demi-permanent because it will just start darkening the hair instantly instead of lightening and then re-dark. So you end up with less colour fade and less damage to the unit. So we're just going to go in and I'm just going to create a global group. So it's just a hot cross band section, and yeah, I'm just going to go in and touch the grooving. If you want to come maybe around this way, you might be able to see a bit better. So yeah, this is just a demi-permanent light brown in colour touch, and I'm just going to globally go round and put this initial grooving in the darkest colour. So yeah, this will just initially put that shadow in. Obviously, you can tweak the formulas depending on how dark your client is or the sort of result that you want to achieve. Is there any questions? Sorry, get me back. So it's already starting to take on the unit. This is because this product has no ammonia and it's a demi-permanent, so it's instantly going to start dropping the base down. I'll just do this on the side.
Here's the text from that.
This is what's before and after the color. So obviously going through any colour service, you're going to get, the texture is going to change slightly. What I tend to do is I make sure with all of the colours that I use a bonding. So here, all of these colours on here, I've got weather pepsin. So this will rebond the hair. So any damage that's done in the colouring process, you're going to rebond and correct that damage. So they can come off feeling almost exactly the same as when they started.
Like I already got the shirt. I go, how am I saying that? I don't know, but I think he's confused. I might have to go back up to that booth and be like, I got a text from you guys.
How long does it typically take to colour a unit? So I tend to do a few little layers. I would say anywhere from about an hour to 2 hours, depending on what the result is going to be. So now I've got the root on the back bit. I'm just going to give it a comb through. What I'll do is I'll show you kind of the full back first before I move on to the front. So now I'm going to take a slightly lighter colour and I'm just going to go back through and just dab it into that little bit.
On the other side. Sorry, oh, you're good. I like the way
This is going to kind of create a bit of an ombre. So you've got the darker centre room and then it gets slightly lighter. And now I'm going to go with some bleach. And I tend to do everything with my hands. I like to kind of swoosh and feel the product. So now I'm just going to go through and start blending the bleach into these two products. And this will kind of just create a bit of a fade.
What volume do you use with your bleach?
So this is 20 mil. 20 mil, but what I have done is, it started off as 20 mil, but I put a little bit of water in it, just to make it a little bit more manoeuvrable through the hair. I also tend to start on a damper unit as well. I find it's easier for the colour to work through the unit if the hair's a little bit more on the damper side rather than the dry side. And then obviously in the demi-permanent it's 10 mil, and again with a bit of water and the bonding. I tend to think if you're too structured with the application, if you're going in with too many files and making it seem a little bit too structured, it can come off a bit too liney and a bit too, almost too precise. You want it to be slightly more, you want it to be a bit more freehand, a bit more, just kind of getting in there and switching it. Yeah, it feels a bit more organic. With the other side, I'm just going to take a slightly lighter tone, just dab it on that little bit, and that's just going to create a bit of a blend. So I'm just going to go in with that. Just take our bleach again, and then start on the ends. What you don't want to do is put the bleach on the fade and work down, because you get a really harsh line. So you kind of work from the bottom, like swooshing into those two toners. And what will happen is you'll just start to get a little bit of, it will lighten that mid tone up a bit, and then you just get like a nice blend. You can just use one tone, it doesn't need to be two, but you're going to get slightly more of a harsher line. So I can see I've just missed a tiny bit of lace there. So I'm just going to go back in and just dab in a bit of that dark tone. And then what I'm going to do now is let's move this around. And I'll show you what I do to the front. So as you can see here, I've taken out some baby lights, and what I tend to do is just leave these until the end. And what I do is with the root colour, I go on the back of it. I tend not to do the front. You just touch it on the back. What you tend to get, well, you can't see it at the minute, but on the front here, you get some really nice like white baby lights. So it makes the hairline not seem so dense and so dark. You get like a really nice few little highlights and grey bits on whatever tone you're going to be finishing with. But it just makes it look a little bit more natural, stops the hairline looking so heavy. So yeah, I'm just going to go in with the same process. So I'm going to go with my darker tone first. And I'll show you how I do that front. So this is all going to be the dark. And what I tend to do is just with these little bits, instead of going under this way, I'll just touch them at the back. So what you get is a little bit light in the front, but it doesn't look like a stripe. It kind of just blends in a little bit more. So you still have a few little lighter bits in the front, but yeah, it just kind of makes it blend a lot better. So now I'm just going to go through. I'm just going to go through now and carry on with my root application. So these, I'm just going to show you, I'm using 3 colours. It's not like a whole range, it's just a very dark, well, a medium dark, then something slightly lighter, and then obviously the bleach. But with just these 3 different shades, I'm going to show you. So this will be more of a platinum rooty vibe. So it will look like a client who maybe had their hair bleached and it's 6 weeks to 2 months later, and they've got like a little bit of a root coming through. What are your biggest tips with colouring a system? So I would say biggest tips would be wet the hair. I find it's much easier to work on damp wet hair than it is on dry hair. It just manoeuvres through the hair a lot better, the product. Always go slightly lighter than what you think. So if you're trying to get a target shade of, say, maybe a base 5, going with a base 6, because the hair does grab. It tends to grab a lot into the hair. Timing is another thing. You want to be quick because you want it to all develop at the same time, but also you have to remember that you don't have the heat of the scalp, so a lot of things are going to take a little bit longer. So if you're starting, that's why I tend to work on a light base and put all of the different textures in around it using like darker tones, because if you start with, say, a unit that's a base 5 and you want to put that balayage kind of look in, sometimes the hair will take hours to lift. It might not lift to the blonde that you want because it's gone through a bit of a chemical process. So it's nicer to start with something a little bit lighter and then put all of that different texture in. So I am, like I said, I'm an experienced wig colorist, so this is something that I do quite regularly, and obviously I wear units, so I do it a lot at home. So it doesn't take me as long to do. I'm a bit more confident with just sort of putting it on, but I feel that's what you have to do to make it look a bit more natural and less kind of structured. You want it to feel a bit more like Isidro said, a bit more organic, less contrived. So that kind of taking bigger sections and getting in there and really smudging it through does give you that kind of organic feel. You don't want it to feel too liney or too structured. So yeah, I'm just going to blend that in. There's a little bit of base still there, so I'm just going to go in there. And then typically this is just what I would do in the first application. So I would do this, let it develop, take it off, and then I'll go in with a range of toners to create different shadows and different layers of colour. So for instance with the silver one, there I toned with Weather 881, which is like a kind of dark coke can silver, and then I also used more of a minor ashy blonde, and that created more of like a white. So I kind of went in with different chunks bits, and it created a bit of dimension, so it didn't all just look one tone. So there's that side done. Just let me do this side, and you can see it's developing nicely. So what I'll do is once I've probably finished the demo, I can quickly rinse it, come back, and I'll show you what it looks like while the Citro's putting on the silver one, so you'll get to see that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to finish this section, finish the hairline, and then I'll show you quickly the balayage version. So this is a base 5. Yeah. So I wanted to kind of create a bit of dimension and something a bit darker. Normally if it was for me, I would go with more of like a base 6 because it would feel more like a 5. I wanted to give you a bit of drama. So it's going to be a very dark, well, it's a very deep room going into a like very light end. Just for the drama of it all.
Vegas.
Yeah, exactly. When in Vegas. Yeah, it's a little bit more of a. Well, I guess actually the company that I work for, they've actually got a salon in LA now, so you can capture all of their colours from there. So I'm just going to do this last bit of switching.
So what tips do you have if your color doesn't come out exactly how you want it? Say you might have a line in there.
I think just go back in, just because you've done one application, it doesn't mean you can't go back in and correct it. Like again, a lot of the stuff that I work with, my hair and the fashion world, it's never one application. It's like 4 or 5 different applications to really get in there and get the colour how you want. So if you take it off, you see a bit of a line, just get a toner, blend it out, re-bleach it, do what you need to do to get rid of that. But yeah, it's never too late. It's never too late to change it.
Will this sort of shorten the lifespan of the hair system when you use it? And if so, sort of by how much?
So again, colouring the unit is gonna make the lifespan of the unit slightly shorter. But like I said, I tend to use everything with Bonder. So I make sure that I'm using bonding agents, I make sure I'm using treatments. From Wella, there's a really good product, I haven't got the bottle here, but it's called Service. And it's a conditioner that basically cuts so if there's any colour on the unit, cover it in this conditioner, and it will stop the colour from being activated. So it will shut it right down there and then. And it's just all about, loads of treatments, loads of conditioning, loads of, I like acidic-based products because alkaline-based products are going to make the cuticles blow open, so they're going to feel a lot rougher. If you use an acidic-based product, it shuts all the cuticles down, it will lock all of those treatments in, it will lock the hydration in. You just have to be mindful about what you're using, and treatment all the way.
Did you want to show them the front?
I see these little baby light bits that I'm going to go in and bleach out now. It kind of is giving you these little lines, so it just stops it from looking so dense at the hairline, and it just gives you a little bit of a soft baby line. So these bits here. So I went in on the back, and you can kind of see the back's just grabbing a little bit of colour, and now I'm just going to go in and do the same on the front and smudge that into there. Yeah, so I'm a Weller-based stylist, so in these bowls I've got blonde or blacks, and then 2 shades of colour touch, and you've got a base 5 and more of a base 7. So we did base 5 on the root, blended it into a base 7, and then blended that into bleach. So this is the application. So this is the application done, and this will be this version. So it will kind of take this one into this world. So you can see the roots and then the bleached ends. So we've got a bit more of a root here for a bit more drama, and then the ends will bleach out. And then what I'll do is I'll rinse this, and I'm going to use this product only, which is called Weller Perfecton. And this is like a silver shampoo, but it's designed to be mixed with water, and all you have to do is then dunk the unit in there, and this will change all the blonde to like an ashy blonde. So there's no need for like a toner afterwards. So I'm going to let this develop, and then I'll rinse it off, and I'll give it one application of this, and it will be more in the world of this. So it will cancel out the yellow and make it more of a platinum blonde. This has had a bit more extra done to it, but yeah, with just this product alone, you can quite easily get into that world.
Yeah, I use that longer forever. That's what my friend was like.
So I'm going to let this one develop nicely down here. And here's one I made earlier. So now this one is going to be more of this kind of style. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to darken all the back, and again I'm going to be using the 2 shades. So I'm going to be using the darkest one on the root, because when the hair grows through, it almost looks a bit deeper on the root. Is that me? Feedback.
It's not you, it's not you.
So yeah, so I'm going to use the darker tone on the root, and then I'm going to blend it out into the slightly lighter tone. And what that's going to do is that's going to replicate kind of the root coming through a bit darker, and then the atmosphere lifting the ends and being a bit more sun-kissed. And then in this front section I'm going to do the same, but what I'm also going to do is put in a few bleached balayage pieces. So I'm going to crack on with just the root and front first. Right at the end. So once you've got stuff, it's like a finishing stuff. And now what I'm doing is I'm just going to put the darker red in. So just to let you know, so what I've done is I've parted this in a front parting and a back parting. And the way I've done it is I've just done like a wiggly, halo-y kind of line, because I wanted it to not be too straight. Kind of make it a bit more diffused, it feels a bit more natural. Colouring wigs and hair systems. So I was a salon colourist, and in 2015 one of my clients' husbands was actually in the fashion world, and I started colouring with him. So because in the fashion world obviously you can't colour model's hair, you have to fake it kind of thing. I got given loads of wigs and I just started to play around with different applications, different techniques. The salon that I was in previously, Bleach, it's famous for kind of, people were bringing wigs to us to have them coloured, hair extensions, we used to do them like silvery grey. So I just kind of started playing around with that, and then eventually I just started to do more and more wigs, and yeah, so I did that for about 6 years, and then I decided one day I wanted to try and play with wigs myself, so I was in a unit from Lord, and I just managed to play around with the colour. The first one I ever did was a balayage, so it was really this amount, and then I loved it, and then I got a bit more brave, then I started going up on pinks, more blues, and then yeah, the rest is history. Now I've got like a whole board of scalps that I can just change.
Yeah, that's so fun. I see that back.
It's a bit like Shit's Creek.
Yeah.
So I've got the Tristan, I've got the Grand Old, I've got all.
I love that show.
So it's actually, I made it myself. So it's from Haha, and it started off black, but I was getting loads of bleach on it and it started to look a bit nasty. So I threw it in the bath and covered it in toilet bleach, and then I just waited 7 hours for it to develop. I thought instead of it getting ruined, I'd just ruin it myself.
Turn it into what you can make as a designer apron and start selling it.
To be fair, it is my trademark. Everyone knows me for this apron. So I've done so this is the darkest colour that's on the fruits, and all I'm going to do now is make this whole back bit dark. So I'm just going to take the slightly lighter colour, and I'm just going to start applying it to tip. And I'm just going to do this quickly. It's going to take me a minute or so. If there's any more questions, Mr. Joe will answer them for you. But he'll get you, he'll come over to you.
Ready to put the timer or ready to put the minute?
Where do you get it from? When do you use it? When? So once it's been shampooed and conditioned, it's more of a top coat. So you use it after the colouring service and after it's been shampooed and conditioned. You can use this, and it's like a top coat. So you don't have to wash it. You can leave it in the hair. So
by itself.
So you squeeze it about 20 mils with 500 mils of water, dilute it, and then you can just dunk it in and then let it dry. There's no need to rinse. This is a pH balancer as well, so it will take any alkaline and it will neutralize it slightly.
How much you think colors?
Yeah. So this is shade /8, which is pearl, but you have copper, brunette, mahogany, gold.
I would buy a gel.
There's another one, violet. So yeah, it comes in a range, and you can intermix them as well. So you can mix the blue or the pearl with the violet, and you make it more pearly violet. You can add a little bit of orange in, it would make it less pearly, a little bit more neutral. So they're very intermixable, but they're great because it it's not like a silver shampoo that has detergent. It's much nicer for the hair units. It doesn't dry them out. It keeps it nice and shiny and nice and healthy.
What tips do you have for like any salon who knows how to do hair systems but they don't know how to maybe colour a hair system because they're used to colouring normal hair? Like the difference between a hair system and colouring normal hair.
I mean, so it is human hair. The only difference would be is this has obviously been treated because you can't just take it out of someone's hair. You have to like treat it. So it's going to have a bit of a coating on it. So what I tend to do is sometimes I dip it into hot water, and dipping it into hot water just takes that coating off a little bit. And also you don't have the heat of the scalp, so you have to leave it longer for it to develop.
So how much longer would you really develop it as compared to like normal hair or something that's growing from someone's scalp?
I would give it like, if it's a 20-minute development, maybe double it. But I'd say at least double it. Sometimes it can be 3 times as long. It depends on the target shade, what base you're starting from, but it's going to be at least double the amount of time.
And how long have you been doing colouring on like on people, and then how long have you been doing it specifically on hair systems? When did you start?
I don't want to give my age away, but it's been a very long time. I'm a veteran in the hair world, so I've actually been colouring hair for 19 years. I know I don't look old enough. But yeah, so I've been colouring for 19 years, but mainly wigs and units, I'd say, in the last sort of 10 years. I started off with, like I said, just doing hair wefts, like little extensions, playing around with dyeing and rooting, and then maybe making it bright pink so people could clip them in and play around with the colour a little bit, but they couldn't commit, or if they didn't want to commit. And then eventually it went into more of a profession, by colouring wigs for like fashion stuff. And eventually now I'm doing it just for myself. Well, I'm still doing the fashion stuff, but I'm playing around with colouring men's hair units for me.
Do you have any like really funny sort of disasters that you had when you first started doing it, you could share maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I was colouring, well, it was an old wig, and I was using a direct dye, like crazy colour, and that's super conditioning, so I coated the lace in this crazy colour. It was like a bright blue, and as I was combing it, because it's so conditioning, all the knots of the wig were coming out, so as I was combing it, it was just shedding, and it ended up being really bald. Luckily, the guy I was colouring for had a spare one, and that one was just a test. So it was fine, we rectified it, but then I realised not to put anything too conditioning onto the legs, because it can make those knots, as opposed to a skin where the hair's injected, with a lace they're tied. So if you have anything that's too much like a conditioner, it can soften those knots, and it can make it a bit more loose, and you can get some shedding. So that was a lesson learned, not to overload the lace with anything too conditioning.
Okay, so why are you sort of starting back and then going here and then going here? Why
So I've done the back because that's where I want the darkest bit to be. So it's going to replicate having some natural colour at the back. And now I'm going to do the same sort of thing, but what I'm going to do is put a few like balayage lights in, and that will give us that kind of thicker blonde. So what I do is I just use the dark again. I'm just going to go around.
So what are we putting in the roots here now?
So out of the 3 bowls, again, this is the darkest shade, because we want to replicate when the hair kind of comes out the head, it hasn't been lighted by the atmosphere, it hasn't had time to be like sun bleached. So we're going with the darkest shade in the room. So this will be the darkest shade, and then I'm going to do a little bit of the lighter shade. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out some chunks, do some bleach, and then I will, in the bits that fall in between, I'm going to bring the medium shade through. So I'm going to do this group quickly and then I'll show you the next step. So there we have the darkest shade on in the roof. Dark shade on the roof, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take a slice sort of around the hairline, sort of following the little shape of the hairline. So I'm just going to take a little bit of a slice, and all I'm going to do is just take a weave, and then I'm going to get the bleach.
Okay, so when you do this sort of motion with the brush, that's called doing a weave, is it?
Yeah. So it's like a highlighting technique. So when you take a slice, weave it, and that gives you a bit of a natural separation. So what I'm going to do is I'm just taking. You want this to look a bit chunky, you don't want it to look too soft, otherwise it just gets lost. So you want it to have a bit of texture. So I'm just taking a big slice, coating it in bleach, and then what I'm going to do is just get a foil, tuck that bit away, and then the bits that's left in between, you're going to get a medium tone and bring that through.
So this part does it have bleach on or does it not have bleach?
So what's in the foil will have bleach. This has got that medium demi permanent tone. So again, you've got the darker room and then it blends into the lighter, and then this foil will have the darker room and it blends into the bleach. And you just do that. And again, less is more. When it's coming to like a balayage or it's coming to something like this, I always find less is more. You don't want to do like loads of foils because then you end up kind of you'll just have a blonde front. So what you want is you want some chunks of blonde, you want some chunks of dark, you want it to feel a bit more natural and it's got a bit more movement. So if you go too fine, too soft, it will kind of just not give you that effect. So you've got a nice chunky dark bit there and a chunky blonde bit there, and all I'm going to do is probably put one more there, and then that will be enough to kind of give you a really nice bright front bit. So again, you don't need like 50 foils, 3 foils is enough. What you want is you just want to make sure you're not taking those weaves too short. You want it to be a pop of colour, you want it to get lost.
And how long are you going to let the bleach here develop?
So what I'm going to do is once I'm done, this one down here will be developed. So I can take that to the toilet, rinse it, very glamorous, give her a nice treatment, and then I'm going to cover her in the Perfecton, and that should be in this kind of world. And then this one, I'd say about 20 minutes should be enough. Normally, if I'm working with bleach on this light base, I'd say 20 minutes is enough to kind of get that lightness. Any longer you start compromising the condition. So yeah, I'm going to then take a chunk, a little bit there, a little bit of waste on this, so I'm just going to go back in. And again, you can kind of, there's not like rhyme or reason, you can kind of go in and just play around with it. If you see bits that are missing, you can adapt it. The good thing is, it's not a client, they're not in a rush, you can take your time. So that's the difference with kind of colouring a hair unit and colouring a client. You've got a bit more time to play with, be a bit more experimental. And yeah, I tend to do everything freehand with fingers. I find it just makes it feel a bit more natural and a bit more organic than too structured. So that's going to be another chunky one. So that's your bleach. You just kind of squish it into that demi-permanent. Just get a foil. Pop that there. Isolate that one out. And then get the bit that's in between. And make that medium tone. after the demo, if you wanted to pop back past in like an hour, these will be kind of fully finished, semi-dried, and you can kind of see the result of what they look like when they're been washed and they've had a little bit of time to dry. So that will be one more, and then I'd say we can probably just get one more in this part. And then we can get out that bit of one more here. This time we go with this front here, and just to make sure the block isn't going too far back. So there's the last chunk. Dark blonde.
So somebody who sort of wants to start doing colouring, would you recommend that they maybe use a system like an old system and just play around, or would you reckon they should sort of go with like try it on a new hair system, or how would you recommend they do it if they want to start and they don't really know much about colouring?
I would say if you're going to start trying it, use an old system. Like, you don't want to end up messing up a new system. They're expensive and they're really good quality. So try using an old system to start with, or just get some hair extension wefts and just play around with different formulas. That's basically, it's trial and error. I've been doing it for a long time, so I know what works, what doesn't work. But it's up to you. It's up to, depending on what formula, like what colour brands you use, they're going to have different shades, different formulations. So yeah, just get some hair wefts, and once you know what your client wants, you can just experiment with a few different strands, see what the fade's going to look like. But so this is it done. So this will be kind of a balayage effect. So this is going to be in this world, and then this one is going to be in this world, which is more of a rootier blonde. So I'm going to take this one now, I'm going to give it a good rinse, I'm going to use the surface, so the surface will shut down any bleach, it will just stop it working instantly, so there's no need to overly shampoo it. You can just give it a good, really good rinse, light shampoo, and then cover it in the surface, and then that will save you over washing it with detergent. And then I'm going to use the Perfecton to tone it and take it into more of a ashy blonde world. And again, that's going to use less peroxide, less detergent, so you end up with a healthier unit.
So you said about this product surface. I mean, if I just put into Google surface, I might come up with like a different thing. Like, how do I find out what a surface?
So it's a Weller product, and it's in their post-service range. So it's once you finish bleaching and once you finish colouring, you can put this on. So it's a Weller product. You can put it on, and what it does is it cancels out any oxidants or any form of colour. So if there's maybe a little bit of bleach that's left in the lace that you forgot about or you didn't rinse properly, if you coat it in this, not only is it going to hydrate it, condition it, and give it back some like much needed oils, it's also going to stop any of the products from working and further lifting, so you can cancel out any damage that's going to happen. Because eventually there's been times where I've washed it and there might be a tiny little bit of colour still left in the lace, or a tiny little bit of bleach still left in the lace. This will stop that from developing, so it can just cancel out any product that's still in the hair. So it's a Weller product, and it's post-service. So Weller is it's called service. Yeah, so it's in their post-service range. So it will be like for after colouring or perming or anything. It just shuts down any ammonia, any oxygens.
So how long has this one down here been developing for now? I know we did the demonstration, but there's some new people who don't know how long this one has been sitting here for.
So this one's been sitting on for about 20 minutes. So it's about ready to be washed. And just to run you through, we've used the same colours in both units. So they started off like a goldeny blonde. And what we've done is on this one you've got the dark root, and then it blends into something more, so it's a base 5 at the root, which is like a light brown, but we've gone with ashy tones, so it's going to appear a bit darker. So you've got a light brown at the root, that's blended into a 7. So the combination is 5-0 and 5-1 together, so I used half and half. So it basically is a 5-0, so 5-0-1. So it's a little bit softer than a plain ash, but I used the base to get the depth, so it's a bit heavier, but then I wanted to use the ash to make it a bit cooler. Yeah. And then we blended that into 789, which is another ashy tone, slightly grey, slightly silvery, and then we blended that into bleach with 20 volt, but we've also got a bit of water in the bleach to make it a bit more runny so I can manoeuvre it through, and we've also added so yeah, maybe it would be like, yeah, maybe, with the added water that I put in, it probably went down to maybe a 15. And then I added also in all colours, it's all got the Weatherplex in, because you need the plex to just make sure the hair stays nice and healthy. So what I'll do is I'll rinse this, I'll tone it with the Perfecton, and then I'm going to cover it in the step 2 of the Weatherplex, and this will lock in all the conditioning elements. So this is going to lock in all of that plex, all of that bonding agent, and it will keep the hair nice and healthy. And what I tend to do is I leave this on for at least 25 to 30 minutes. I just let it really soak in, and then I just do a light shampoo with an acidic shampoo, and then a light conditioner with an acidic conditioner. But I tend to stay off of the lace, so no conditioner on the lace. I'm going to go rinse this one. I'm going to leave this one developing, and then I think the Sandro is going to start putting this one on, is it?
Yeah, so this one will take a bit about 5 minutes to rinse off, and then you're going to towel dry it? Or what are you doing?
I'd say it's going to take about 10 minutes for me to give it a good rinse, a pre-tone with this, and then I'll put the bonding agent number 2 on, the Weatherplex number 2, I'll leave it and then I'll bring it back over in like 10 minutes to show you the kind of finished result.
With them on and stuff.
In about 10 minutes, this one will be washed, rinsed,
It doesn't like it.
and in the meantime, we're going to show you a little self-application thing.
Yeah, I'll make it pink. I'll make it whatever you want, babe. Yeah. I'm gonna smell that shit.
So you're going to go for about 10 minutes now, you're going to be back, and then we're going to have this one because it's like it's on soon afterwards. So we'll pop now, so we don't want it to develop any longer. And then we'll back with that to rinse it out and then see the colour that it comes out as.
I'll be back in 10
All right, see you in a bit.
This one has had the roots dyed in, so we dyed in a bit of a root. So we used a dark brown, and then we blended that into something a bit lighter, and then we bleached out the ends. So now I'm actually going to show you what Perfecton does. So I've got a little bucket here, and if I get you to hold this.
So what's Perfecton again?
So Perfecton is this product here. So it's a silver-based product. Well, this one is. This is Shea Pearl. And basically it's a liquid, a conditioning liquid that has pigment in. So you squeeze around about 20 mils and you add it to water. Bucket here with Perfecton, it just what it does to the blonde hair. So you can just dip this in. So basically, you can see this has just been washed, it's not been toned. And you basically dip it in. Get it right in
So you literally just dip it in and out. You don't dip it in and leave it in for even more than...
You can do, if you want the pigment to be a bit stronger, you can dip it in and leave it in. But this has just been dipped in slightly, and you can see already it's turned it into like a grey, purpley tone. So this will cancel out any yellow, cancel out any sort of slightly orangey tones. But all you need to do is mix it with water, and it literally took 10 seconds to change the tone. The more you dip it in and the longer you leave it, the sort of deeper the tone will be. But yeah, it started off slightly more yellowy, and you just dip it into the liquid, and then it turns it into slightly more of a silvery grey. This is the product Perfecton/8. So this is like a pearly purple. It does come in other tones, so you could do copper to gold, you could do more of a violet, but this is really nice to just remove any yellow and make it feel a bit more silvery. So this initially started off like a yellowy colour. We bleached it out, and then we just added some Perfecton to the ends to make it more silvery.
And do I need to have wet hair to dip it in there, or can I go from dry hair and dip it right in there?
I would personally go with wet hair. Only reason being is when the hair's wet, it can even out the porosity of the hair. So it makes it, if the hair's dry, it might grab in certain places. If the hair's wet, it's more likely to grab evenly.
So do I need to do this on like freshly sort of bleached hair, or what happens if I go wash my hair, or even if I have bleached hair, if I go in and literally go over it, what happens?
So because this hair was bleached up to more of a white tone, that's why it looks slightly more purpley grey or like early grey. If you were to use it on your hair, it would neutralise the yellow, but it's not going to look as grey. So it will maybe look slightly more of a vanilla-y blonde, less of a golden blonde. But because you've got some gold present in your hair, when the purple and the gold hit, they neutralise each other out, so you'll get more of a neutral blonde. Whereas because this started off more white and it had less yellow in it, it's going to be more grey.
So I see you put some dark in at the front. So originally this was like a 22 colour, like pretty light blonde sort of colour. And you've put dark in at the front here. What can I do if I do want the blondes on show? Can I bleach it again? Is it the best thing to do? Or do I need to put my hairstyle to sort of show and then kind of what sort of thing can I do?
I mean, what you could do is you can turn the unit over and you can bleach the knots and make them slightly lighter, but in doing so you might compromise the condition of the hairline. So what I would tend to do is maybe take out a centimetre around the hairline and go in with a slightly lighter toner. So you might use the darker toner at the back, but then you might mix up something more of a dark blonde and use a dark blonde at the front. So that way the knots won't be as dark. Personally, I don't mind the knots being dark because it kind of makes it look like it's my hair coming out. It looks like I'm not on the pool, so it tends to translate quite natural in there. So I don't mind them being a bit more darker. But what you could do is you could weave out the front, and then with this front part, yeah, you could weave out like a little bit around the front. And then with this front part, maybe use a slightly lighter toner so you're not using something so dark. And then that way it will stop the knots from being
So are we letting this, how are we leaving this like this for now?
This is pretty much ready to just
So I dip it in here and I don't need to wash it again, I just let it air dry.
it's like a top coat, so once it's washed, shampooed, you can use the Perfector and just let it dry, and it will just dry really natural. It won't feel like there's a product in it. I've got some of the bonded conditioner on here, the number 2 in the Weather Pets. So this is just going to stay on for literally about half an hour. I'll let it dry it, and that's just going to make the unit feel as healthy and as shiny and as soft as possible. So this one has been developing for around the 20-minute mark now, so I'm going to give this one a rinse, and then once I've rinsed this one, I'm going to maybe do the Perfecton again at the front, and I'll show you kind of how it works again.
So when you dip it in stuff, are you going to try and use maybe either of the napkins or is it more like a bit over a bit?
I mean, it doesn't necessarily matter. You can get, because it's not light enough to turn purple or silver, what it will do is it might cool down. So if there's a bit of warm tones in there, it might cool it down, but you're not going to see the silvery grays. You're only ever going to see them on the bleach ones. I'm going to wash this now. Just giving it a good clean. Just cleaning up all the flows. But yeah, they're the finished look. So you've got like a silvery, purpley grey, and then this is more of like the balayage.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really good. We really change it. Like that's what I love. I love from like the 22 shade.
Yeah.
It's so versatile. You can do this. Do you know what I mean? They're very versatile. It's endless. The possibilities are endless.
So how long can the color stay?
It stays for quite a while. I mean, every time you wash it, it gets lighter and lighter and lighter. But then because it's already got the colour in, sometimes, so if I was wearing this, it would get lighter, and then what I would do is, like, maybe in 2 months, I'll just do the darker roots again, and maybe the ends again.
It's really pretty, I think.
Yeah, it's cute.
It's finished?
Part 2, just washing the colour off. Now it's gone.
How long will it take?
It's done. I think so, yeah.
咖啡结束了。
How another from here?
One picture that you've got on your phone of the Astro headlights like
Okay, everything's good. Sorry.